Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road, just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
My name is Dana McDermott, and I'm a junior in the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications at Arizona State University. I am looking forward to the opportunity to get some hands-on experience and dip my toes into this industry. I've called water polo, softball, and I've broadcasted on the sidelines for high school football and basketball. I'm so excited for what this internship is going to give me.
Hello, I'm Andrew Neeram, a junior at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I'm excited to show the Varsity Sports Show everything that I can offer on any side of production as I express my love for this business throughout the fall of 2025.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Valley Sports and Phoenix metro area. My name is Jorge Anwajardo. Let me introduce myself. I'm currently a graduate student at Arizona State University, and I'm also a Navy vet. I'm hoping to bring the Valley the hard-hitting sports coverage that Phoenix deserves. From high school Friday night lights to playoff pressure, I'll deliver the facts, the stats, and the stories that matter to all Valley sports fans.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Friday Night Live with Vince Postgame Show. My name is Vince Delicio, and we are going to, what a night for football. I was out at Queen Creek tonight. Great night. It was senior night for them, home opener. And we'll be talking to Reggie Wright, who reported from the game tonight, a little later on in the show. So Friday Night Live, what is this? This is a pregame, postgame show. We go live from 6 to 6:30, and we bring you kind of a preview of all of the games that we're covering. This week it's seven games, including one in Douglas, Arizona, the iconic Douglas Bisbee annual football game down there in our southernmost border in Arizona, as well as one game in Las Vegas this week that we'll be hearing from Thomas Gabo, who will be joining us a little later on as well. And of course, a couple of old friends of ours, field correspondents that report regularly from our team that are joining us as co-hosts tonight. It's Blessing Fraser and Greg Graves, and Blessing. Guys, so big night for high school football tonight. It was kind of cool to get out there and see some games, cover some games, and you guys have had a chance to watch some games. Any big surprises tonight? Blessing, you go first.
I will say a big night for rivalries. There were multiple notable games where either the teams didn't like each other, and you saw a lot of taunting and shoving. There were a couple big blowouts that I wasn't expecting, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But it was just really exciting to see. I enjoyed hearing my other interns talk about in the color and analysts. It was just great to see.
What about you, Greg?
Yeah, for me, it was cool to see all the games I was following along to were all great games down to the end. Obviously, don't want to give anything away just yet, but I know there's a lot of close games out in Arizona tonight.
Well, speaking of which, we're going to start in Arizona. Let's start from Douglas, Arizona, and our very own Spencer McIntyre, who made the trek from Tucson, another 2.5-hour drive down from Tucson to Douglas, and a big game down there. Spencer, and go ahead, Blessing, take it away.
Spencer, we just were talking about how this was a big rivalry game, their annual battle, and I was talking about how there was a lot of taunting and taunting. The Bulldogs got a touchdown taken away. Bisbee got some unspoken like contact. What was that atmosphere like in real time?
It was crazy. I mean, there's a lot of energy here tonight from both sides. They both really want it, but I will say the game is still ongoing. We're not quite done yet. We've got about a minute 15 left on the clock, and the Bulldogs are still leading 25-0 over the Pumas. So.
Yeah, and like you said, Douglas blow out. What do you think that to make sure that Bisbee didn't get it on the scoreboard?
I think they really wanted it. They kept pushing them back, kept putting them in tight spots, and I will say as well, the Pumas, they kept putting themselves in tight spots as well with unsportsmanlike conduct.
And then what key star players did you find yourself time and time again? What kind of names did you see yourself playing?
Sorry. Sorry, could you repeat that? It's very loud here.
Yeah. I said, what names did you find yourself calling out time and time again? What key players were on Douglas to make sure that they took out this win?
Of course, I would say that the name I heard the most of is Ivan Garrett, number 3, the quarterback. He frequently made a lot of the passes, and yeah, he's definitely the name I heard the most tonight. Matthew Hudson was another one, number 10. He scored a couple touchdowns as well.
Well, thank you, Spencer. I hope that you enjoy the rest of this amazing game, and thank you for joining us.
Hey, Thomas.
Hi, how's it going?
How was tonight's game?
It was a pretty awesome game here, a one-score game here at Desert Pines, where the Jaguars faced off against Mojave High School. And the Jaguars won 35-29.
Yeah, it was a pretty close game up until the end there. So for you, what stood out amongst both teams tonight?
Yeah, so I got to call the game color commentary with my other partner, Nick Anderson. And we both agreed that, both teams were a little undisciplined, especially the start of the first half, but, really got settled down and then really got to their offenses. Mojave, not until the second half, but, Desert Pines got started early, and then that's what mounted the comeback for Mojave in the second half.
So it sounded loud out there tonight. What was the atmosphere like amongst the crowd?
Yeah, I mean, once it started to get a lot closer in score, it started to light up here. It was a very fan-filled atmosphere here for Friday Night Lights. So it was awesome.
Any key players to walk away, thinking about?
Yeah, for Mojave, I would say Rajon Butler. I mean, he's a superstar on the field on all three sides of the ball, special teams, defense, and offense. And for the Jaguars, Desert Pines Jaguars, I would say Marcus Williams. I mean, he was the bell cow tonight. And, he was barreling into the end zone and just really carrying the offense on his back.
So for Mojave, what do you think they got to do moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, they do have a tough schedule coming up. They showed a lot of fight here. They fought through a lot of adversity, making this a one-score game. And I think they just have to settle down. They did win a state championship last season. They're still, expecting expectations like that. But, every season's a new season, and they just got to, see how their identity fits themselves this season.
Well, awesome. Thank you, Thomas.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
It's interesting. Such a variation in games. I mean, obviously the game in Douglas still going on, so we're going to hopefully hear from Spencer before the end of the show to get us a final update on that one, and then of course with Mojave and Desert Pines, and any takeaways from that one, Greg, in talking to Thomas.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. He was talking about the bell cow running back. I remember as soon as I turned the game on, I heard his name being called. So speaking to Thomas afterwards, it was funny that that was the first name that came to mind. And I just think for me, it was my first time really turning into Vegas football, so to speak. And it was just really cool seeing the atmosphere out there. It was honestly the loudest game I heard all night.
Yeah, it was interesting. A lot of fun. And it's they know how to play out there as they do here in Arizona. So what I'd like to do is we're going to see if we can come back and get some final thoughts on that Queen Creek Boulder Creek game. But we're going to go next up. Blessing, we'll have you take this one. We're going to go to Matt McCord out at Mountain View High School. So Blessing, let's go ahead and take it away. We'll bring on Matt McCord from Mountain View.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Now, Mountain View, they came back from a very tough loss last week, and they came out on top 46-7. Kind of talk us through what you saw during that game.
Well, last week against Liberty, Mountain View's top quarterback, Brady Goodman, got hit really hard and got a concussion. He was left out of that game. We didn't know if he was going to play today. He came in, we talked to the coaches, he played, and he lit up that Mesa defense. I mean, it was touchdown on touchdown on touchdown. He was able to step up in the pocket and make great throws across the middle, a bunch of deep balls for touchdowns. It was a pretty one-sided affair. And then on top of that, the running game got going late for Mountain View, which was very special.
And speaking of Brady Goodman, him and Tyler Arnett, they were like the dream team. There was Goodman had a good, strong arm to Arnett. They actually had a touchdown within the last couple of minutes of that game in the end zone. What do you think that team camaraderie, how would that take them far throughout this season?
It'll take them really far because these are guys that have been together for a while now. And Arnett knows how Goodman plays in and out. And Goodman, it's his first read on every play. Goodman's always looking towards Arnett and so on, even though there's a lot of very talented players there. So as long as they keep, finding a rhythm in practice and then bring it into the game, it should be really special. And this Mountain View team has so much talent, they can compete with the best in the state.
Speaking of, Mountain View actually made it to the state championship last year, but they came up a little bit short. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they come forward during this season. What do you think worked well for the Toros, and what do you think they need to bring into the next week and every week outside of that?
Well, I think what worked well off the top was the passing game. We had a feeling that was going to be their main focal point. We know off of last week coming off concussion for Brady Goodman, they were going to try to get him into this game and kind of slow it down for him. So it was early on, it was a lot of screen passes, which got a lot of yards, and it was a lot of very intermediate and short passing. And then as the game extended on, they started, especially out of halftime, it was deep balls, deep balls, deep balls. So that really worked well for them. And the run game wasn't tremendous, but it started getting going late. And lastly, their defense was spectacular tonight. Their defensive tackles were all over the field, nothing but pressure, a bunch of sacks. I mean, Mesa could barely run the ball. Their cornerbacks were locked down. And on top of that, they had a special teams punt return for a touchdown. So they blocked a punt for a touchdown. So it was all around just a great night.
Yeah, I think this was a great showcase for their first home game, their first home opener. And I thank you for speaking with me, Matthew. Have a good night.
Thank you, Blessing.
Awesome. We're going to take it now. I think we're going to go to Abigail Hardy, who is out at actually, you know what? Let's take a quick break. We're going to come right back. Abigail, hang in there. Andrew, I know you're on as well waiting for us. So we're going to jump to a quick break, and we'll be back with Greg Graves and Abigail Hardy reporting from Arizona College Prep, where the Desert Mountain Wolves went over and paid them a visit. We'll be right back. Hey guys, Vince. Hey guys, Vince here from the Varsity Sports Show. Nothing beats a hometown touchdown, on the field and on the table. Join us at Zips or Goldies, where families, friends, and teams come together for great food. They make everything fresh, like their hearty burgers or irresistible focaccias. The restaurants are family friendly with a huge menu and plenty of seating. Goldies Sports Cafe is in Scottsdale at Via Linda and Mountain View Road, and Zips Sports Grill has 14 Valley locations. Come hungry, see you soon at Zips or Goldies. All right, Greg, you're up next, and we're going to bring on Abigail Hardy, who reported from tonight's game out at Arizona College Prep. They hosted the Desert Mountain Wolves. So take it away, Greg and Abigail.
Hey,
Hey,
Abigail, how you
guys.
doing? So obviously tonight was a great game for both teams, regardless of who won or lost. Obviously, Arizona College Prep took the step up into 5A this past season, and they got a big win tonight. What was kind of the reaction amongst everyone?
Absolutely. Between both teams, like we saw really good offense and defense. Really close games. Like the most was that the Wolves were down by 10 when it was 19-9, but then they came back with that really big touchdown to make it 19-5. They unfortunately couldn't get that extra point kick, and then the Knights just sealed it with that interception at the end with seconds left to go. So on both sides, both teams played tremendously well.
So to you, obviously up in the booth, was there any players that stood out? I know there was a freshman out there who was putting in a lot of work.
Absolutely. The freshman was from number 80 on the Knights, Kai Hassenjaeger. He did very well, caught good plays when the Knights really needed him.
So as we look forward to next week for both teams, I mean, what is your takeaways going into next week and as the season continues?
Absolutely. I think both of these teams, we saw from last year that they were very high scoring teams. This game was a little bit of a lower score, but I think going ahead with both teams, they're on defense, they could stop the ball, and on offense, they loved using it in the air. So going forward, I could see both of these teams doing pretty well and going pretty far as they're both now in 5A.
All right. Well, thank you, Abigail.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Awesome. Thanks, Abigail. So, yeah, I mean, some surprises, but Arizona College Prep coming out looking strong this year. New coach in Coach Derek Zellner, who was out at spent the last few years. Prior to last year, he was out a head coach at Gilbert High School. So puts together a good game plan. And of course, Conrad Hamilton, a lot of preparation. He's a student of the game and a great football coach in his own right out at Desert Mountain. So two great teams clashing tonight. And talking about two great teams, our very own Andrew Neeram was on the call tonight with Reggie Wright out at Queen Creek as the Queen Creek Bulldogs on senior night, which is where we did our pregame show. They hosted the Boulder Creek Jaguars. And for that, we're going to bring Blessing back on and be joined by Andrew Neeram. Hey, Andrew.
How's it going?
Hi,
Awesome.
Andrew. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Just got done with the game, and it was exciting.
Nice. Yeah, we had the Battle of the Creeks. Queen Creek had back-to-back wins, and it was senior night, as Vince stated. Kind of take us through what you saw during this game, some key plays, some key players. What did you see?
Yeah, so I mean, from the jump, the crowd was into it. Obviously, it being senior night, everyone wanted to show their respect and love for the seniors. But right out of the gate, it was very competitive. Boulder Creek had a very quick touchdown, and Queen Creek was looking to score, but then they got intercepted. But, you know, as the second quarter progressed, Queen Creek found their rhythm, and they really, you know, hankered down around their backup quarterback because, you know, their star quarterback, Tate Reynolds, is out with an injury. So their backup, Sawyer Hales, had to come in, but it literally looked like he was a starter. He was out there throwing dimes. He found his star receiver for a 99-yard touchdown, which was electric, and the crowd went crazy. So overall, it was a really good game. Queen Creek came out on top, and it was competitive in the first half, and then in the second half, they pulled away.
And I noticed Boulder Creek had like about an hour and 30-minute drive, so it looks like that served Queen Creek an advantage. Like you said, it probably was back and forth in the beginning, but Queen Creek just held it towards the end. I saw a lot of rivalry during this game, and they have Centennial and Cesar Chavez at home for the next two games. I know that Centennial is going to be a well-watched game. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. Queen Creek actually lost to them in the semifinals last year. What do you think that atmosphere will be like in person?
I mean, I think it's going to be great. Like I said, even tonight was really intense. I think the second play of the game, I think, I saw some taunting on the field. And then I think we had a total of 4 either unsportsmanlike calls or taunting calls throughout the game. So even this game tonight was really intense and really in your face. And then, like you said, Centennial beat them last year in the semifinals. So that's going to be the rivalry there, right? They went 10-3, Queen Creek did. And they were really hoping to get to that 6A final, and then Centennial knocked them out. And so, yeah, I mean, Cesar Chavez is going to be a great game. Don't get me wrong, but that game against Centennial is going to be electric, I think.
I agree. I'm looking forward to watching that one. Well, thank you so much, Andrew. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night.
Of course, you as well.
Nice work. Great games, definitely. And here we go. We're going to keep on going here, and we're going to bring Greg Graves back, who is going to talk with our very own Niall Rosenberg. Niall was out at Horizon tonight covering Horizon and Apollo. Take it away, Niall and Greg.
How's it going, Niall?
Good. How are you?
So good. So obviously a big win for Horizon tonight, 56-7. I mean, obviously there was 2 standout players, but to you, who was the standout player of the game?
I mean, it's got to be Bodie Zamorano. I mean,
Right.
the guy just went off with multiple touchdowns. And another stat that we found out in the game, and that was just very impressive, is that he set the all-time career rushing record at Horizon High School on a rush, that about a 25-yard rush on the left-hand sideline inside the 10, and it was electric. All of the fans went crazy. All of the teammates ran out on the field, celebrated with him, and just what a moment. They paused the game, and just an absolute milestone for the senior. And the other guy would be his running back partner, Johnny Issett. He had a couple big plays. He had a kickoff return, had a 70-yard rush, hit touchdown himself. And then, as Dana and I called it on the broadcast, we called him Thunder and Lightning. Was Zamorano as the power guy, and Issett as the quick speed guy.
Yeah, I got a chance to see this football team last week, and I know Bodie definitely stood out. But flipping to the quarterback, Carter Puma, and his abilities out there tonight, what'd you see?
Yeah, I mean, last week only the 2 rushes, but tonight he scrambled a lot. He got out of the pocket, picked up a lot of first downs. A little bit overthrew a couple of his guys, but he was able to get the ball out efficiently and with really good accuracy to Kaufenstein. Just some really good stuff out of Puma, and his ability to read the field. And if his first guy isn't there, he was getting to his second guy. He was making sure his running backs were set up properly, and just a good game control out of Puma.
Yeah, so we talk about Puma. We brought up Zamorano and obviously Kloppenstein. It's a high-power offense, and so looking forward to next week against Cactus High School. Where do you think this team will just pick up the pieces and move forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to start with a run. I mean, they really attacked the ground, and in their trenches, they were creating holes all over the inside of the interior, and just the speed that they play with and the sureness that they play with is something that a lot of Horizon High School fans and the rest of the team will look forward to for the rest of the season.
Well, big win for the Huskies tonight. I appreciate you, Niall.
Awesome. Thank you.
56-7.
Yeah, good. That was quite a win. Horizon is really off to a great start this season. Big win last week, another one this week, and you said they play Cactus next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it should make for an interesting one. They've had some battles through the year. So great job on that, Greg. And thanks again, Niall, for jumping on and joining us reporting from Horizon. And we're going to head over to, we're going to bring Blessing back, and we are going to talk with Antonio Gutierrez, our very own, who is out at Saguaro tonight for the big rivalry, Saguaro-Chaparral. And let's welcome Antonio on. How you doing? Blessing, take it away.
Hey, Antonio, how are you doing? Oh, I think you're muted.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good. Like Vince was saying, big game for Saguaro and Chaparral. Saguaro came out with the win 23-10. We kind of talked about pregame how Chaparral was Saguaro's only win of last season, so we didn't know whether it would be a blowout or a close game. But for the first half, there was a lot of back and forth, trading leads. That second half, Saguaro just came out and stood on top. What did you think that Saguaro did to make sure that they remained supreme?
Oh, I mean, their run game was so fantastic today. Their offensive line is some big dudes. You can't lie. There's some big dudes on the offensive line, and they were handling the trenches with ease. Running back Ty Trazier had over 100 yards rushing, including a 75-yard rushing touchdown, and he was just fantastic to watch him. And the quarterback for Saguaro was also dynamic. He can run the ball, he can throw the ball, he can do everything. And their offense was just clicking in all categories. And their defense, Chaparral scored 56 points last week against West Point, and they scored only 10 today. The Saguaro defense was swarming everywhere, and they were just kind of suffocating them.
And rivalries has been a common theme throughout our broadcast tonight. Speaking of Saguaro and Chaparral, we've seen a lot of shoving, and it was a very intense environment. Can you kind of talk about what you saw on the field out there tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the stands were packed tonight for both sides. The Saguaro student section was one of the loudest student sections I've seen in a long time. But Chaparral student section on the other side was completely full just across over there. I mean, they were full, they were loud. I could hear them across the whole entire field. And you can tell it definitely means something between these two teams when they play each other. There's a little bit of bad blood, and the fans definitely get into it out here.
And Saguaro's facing South Point Catholic next. What are a few key things that you think that Saguaro needs to take out from this win and bring into the next week?
Yeah, I think there were some costly penalties for Saguaro. They had a couple holding penalties that brought back some more explosive plays for them. So I think if they clean up those penalties, they played almost a perfect game to their standards, honestly. They held a good Chaparral offense, only 10 points all night, and their defense was swarming all over. If they can just build on that and keep the penalties to a minimum, they're looking like a great overall team.
I agree 100%. Well, thank you so much, Antonio. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Awesome. Great job on that. And big win for Saguaro tonight in that big rivalry game. And as Antonio talked about, the defense really stepping up. So nice job. Congratulations to Coach Darius Kelly, and much deserved. What I want to do is go back, and Blessing, while we have you here, let's bring Spencer McIntyre back on, and we're going to let him go home in a little while. They got a long drive, but the game wasn't quite over yet out down at Douglas in our southern border in that big matchup, big rivalry game versus Bisbee. So let's bring Spencer back on. There he is. Okay, take it away.
Spencer, can you kind of walk us through those last couple of minutes of the game? What did you see, and how did Douglas come on top with the win?
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't quite see it as we were finishing up during my last interview. I got the text that that Douglas had won, so I wasn't able to see it, unfortunately. So I can't speak to that, but Douglas did win 25-0, an impressive feat over the Pumas.
And once again, can you kind of talk to us about a few of the key players offensively, defensively, and whether you think their offense or defense pulled them through this game?
Of course, for the Douglas Bulldogs, I would say their quarterback, Ivan Higuera, he was a star player tonight. He defended, he did a great offense. He was doing it tonight. And then as for the Bisbee Pumas, Tristan Meyer, I frequently saw him. He would catch the snap and run it out. Unfortunately, they were unable to score, but you can tell there was some real effort behind what he was trying to do.
And speaking to
go ahead. In addition, Matthew Hudson from the Bulldogs, he also scored a couple touchdowns as well. And Luis Wong, he kicked the field goals, and he scored almost every single one that he did.
And for the Pumas, you kind of talked about how they had a good offense, or they had a key player on offense, but they weren't able to get there defensively. For the Douglas Bulldogs, how important is defense, and how does that bring you to championships?
I would say for defense, they really had it tonight. Like they kept pushing the Pumas back, and some would say the best defense is a good offense.
Well, thank you so much, Spencer. I know you have a long drive ahead of you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Great
course, no
job,
worries.
Spencer. Yeah, safe travels back. Get something to eat. Get something to get a glass of water, for gosh sakes. But nice job out there tonight. Thanks for covering that game. It's a big game, and it's part of our National Football Foundation Southern Arizona chapter. Friday Night Lights, Southern Arizona Game of the Week. That's a mouthful there. Anyway, you guys. All right. Thanks again, Spencer. Oh, wow. Let me bring Greg back on. And so, yeah, quite a night for high school football. Before we wrap, some of the reports that you heard, again, we did this at the onset of the show. Favorite games tonight. Go ahead. Blessing.
I would have to say Mountain View versus Mesa High School. I don't know if I'm biased because I covered this last week, but it was just a great turnaround seeing them go from 37 to nothing to 34-7. It was just amazing to see how they fought through and through, and they took all of the things that they could have improved on from last week and actually made an action for this week.
Yeah, congratulations, Coach Andy Litton and the Mountain View Toro community. Big win tonight over Mesa. Wow. And Greg, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously what Blessing said with Brady Goodman for Mountain View coming back after seeing that injury last week, it's good. It's good to hear he had a great game. But I think what stood out to me is Horizon football and that offense. It's high powered. They got 3 serious players, maybe 4 with both their running backs, quarterback, and receiver. And I just think it's really cool to see like those high powered offenses at the high school level with just guys' names you recognize.
I agree. So good to see a great night of football. A lot of fun everywhere that we had an opportunity to cover tonight. Again, we had 7 games, including 1 in Las Vegas and 6 here in the state of Arizona. So thanks again for tuning in to our inaugural Friday Night Live here post-game show, and we hope to do this every week. We should be doing it every week. And tune into the Varsity Sports Show tomorrow morning, AM 1060, KDUS Arizona, from 9 to 11 a.m. We're going to bring the coaches from tonight's wins and games that were featured, and we look forward to all of the great programming from our talented team. Join us again tomorrow morning, 9 to 11 a.m. We'll be in studio. Dane Palmer and Ava Lambetis will be hosting the show with me from the studio, 9 o'clock. We'll see you then. Thanks again, you guys. Have a great night. Blessing, Greg, nice job tonight, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you, too.
See you, Vince.